Hey everybody, welcome on in. Team Rocket Joey throwing up the rockets. That's right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in here tonight on Thursday night. And as you can see by the title of the discussion tonight, we're going to be talking about the Pokemon market as we normally do here on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time. So something I want to discuss is the market's cooked. Yes, not for everybody. Let me just be 100% real. The people that have been using this market as a piggy bank. So basically trying to use credit cards to buy the next item, to use it to pay the next item immediately, so on and so forth, rinse, wash, repeat, and using their credit cards in order to be able to do these things are definitely going to futuristically or continue to have issues in this current market. So basically, if you're one of the investors, if you are a person in business that has been doing things legitimately, continuing to buy from distribution, buying at MSRP or less, or doing those kind of things, you're probably going to continue to do well. If you go to Walmart and still go and buy, I hate to say it, buy a shelf off of Walmart, is there still a market to be able to flip that particular product? Yes. The one thing that is happening right now in this current economy and the things that are changing right now is the market is a lot slower for the sales front of things. And we're seeing it not just in with the government shutdown too, really isn't helping as well. As weird as it sounds, in all businesses right now, things have kind of slowed down quite a bit in those areas. And it's not just the Pokemon market, it's in other sales areas. There's uncertainty in the overall economy in the United States. And we're starting to see it for our United States sales. Now, I'm not saying the same thing for UK or Australia or Canada, but right now we are seeing a little bit of uncertainty. It seems like it's slowed down a little bit on the sales front on our end. And like I said, it's not just Pokemon. HVAC business, it's a lot of other businesses right now are starting to feel a little bit just because the uncertainty creates these issues from time to time. But the people that are really going to get cooked in this current market are the people that have been using credit cards and using those credit cards to roll forward, buying stuff, trying to go 3x to pay that credit card bill before the end of the month, or pay that credit card bill before the next set releases, because we do have Phantasmal Flames coming up in just 2 weeks, guys. It's coming quick. Pre-release tournaments coming out this week. So if you guys want to get your first glimpse of the set, if you have one close by, join in on a pre-release, guys. It's a lot of fun. Everybody's even playing field. It's a learning event, so everybody has some fun, and usually people are joking and having fun in the actual events, which is really good. It's a lot of fun. You get to learn Pokemon, get first glimpse at the hit rates, get first glimpse at the cards, see what you're dealing with, and see what it's going to look like when it comes down to the sets. But now my little pitch about that's out of the way. People are really going to start feeling this a little bit, and it's going to continue to kind of slow down. Overall, if you look at your markets, if you use Pokédata, if you use a lot of the Pokemon sites right now, you're seeing that slowdown, that stagnation in this market. People aren't really putting that out there, and there's a lot of slowdown right now. There's not as big a growth. We're not seeing sets quadrupling right at release. We're not seeing ME1 continuing to accelerate. We're seeing booster box prices continue to come down. The most recent sets in the Pokemon TCG, we're seeing the sets come down. Pokemon is starting to increase print rates, which is causing the pricing to go down. There's a certain feature that's continuing to happen over and over and over again right now. I'm seeing accounts starting to close. I'm seeing people starting to shut things down. I'm starting to see things starting to change. What is going on with that camera tonight? And we're starting to see these things change and these things adapt. And there's going to be continuing slowdown as the free tendies go away. It's the market we've been hoping for, right? It's the market that we've been waiting for again, to where some people are going to start walking out and some people are going to start leaving, and people are going to start pushing out and moving different directions, and they're going to start leaving because there isn't the easy money. There's not going to be the quick sales. Those kind of things are starting to occur at this point in time. So whether or not it's going to continue to move forward, it is. I mean, and Team Rocket Joey just said it. It's history repeating itself. This is exactly what we saw, and we've discussed for quite a long time that this is the things that could happen. People are going to be selling things fast. They're going to try and take deals or even break even on some of these. And that's one of the situations that we are going to see happening, I think, more and more as these credit card bills become due, as the sales aren't selling at 3 times MSRP. If these things continue to happen, that camera, I'm going to throw it out the window. As these things continue to happen and this market continues to move in this direction, it's going to happen more and more. People are going to have to sell out quicker in order to pay the bills, or they're going to have to start paying interest on these credit cards, but it's also going to hold up their line of credit where they may not be able to buy as much Phantasmal Flame, or the next set afterwards might become the next one that they can't buy into, which means there's going to be more product available for the general public out there as these sales start to slow. As it starts bogging down those credit cards, as it starts bogging down those accounts where the flipping isn't as easy, like people are saying in the chat right now, fire sales will start happening. So basically, people will buy as much product as they can on their credit. They'll sell as much as they can at the max price at release or when it first comes out, and then they're going to start selling at it for just breaking even, or just breaking even for paying everything out and paying the fees. That's what you're going to start seeing, and when that starts to occur, they have less buying power, and then the buying power starts to drop out. As the buying power starts to drop out, that means that the pricing will start to be less and less, and as it becomes less and less, you're going to see more and more product available on the shelves. All these things start to tumble downhill, and it's like Joey just said, it's history repeating itself. It's exactly what we saw in 2021. At the end of 2021, it's almost about the same time frame. Pokemon's increasing print. I don't know if anybody's seen the videos out there right now of Walmart getting those ME1 tins coming out. So these tins right here, there's literally stands coming out in Walmart with like 400 of these on them right now. And I think they're coming to the bigger Walmarts. I haven't seen them at our little ones yet. They might show up here at the end of the week, but these ones right here, these tins right now are getting dumped at Walmarts, and they're like stands with 400 of those tins. So, and that's at hundreds of Walmarts. So just to give you an idea how many of those tins are actually hitting the market at this point in time, these are things that we were going to continue to see, which Pokemon did back in 2021, at the end of 2021, that just absolutely stalled this market out and created this situation where you're going to get to a place where the people that are legitimately in it, that don't have credit, are going to be able to still function and do things. But the people that are using credit cards, rolling money, trying to buy stuff with credit cards and then sell out, are going to run into the walls. And also the people that are getting into it now, that are late to the party, who haven't built a reputation, that don't have the sales platforms, that don't have the outs, are going to be the people that are going to get hit by this. And they're not going to be able to move this product as easy, which in turn is going to drop them right back out of the market again. And these are what we might continue to see happen as we're moving forward. Is the overall market cooked? No. Am I going to dump out a Pokemon? Do I think there's going to be a big crash? That's a big question. I get a lot of people right now DMing me on Instagram and on Discord and on TikTok quite a bit. Are these markets, is it safe for me to get out of it? Should I get out of Pokemon completely? Is the market going to collapse? I don't think we're going to see a crazy crash. I don't think we're going to see a massive reset like some of the stuff did at the end of 2021. There's just not the volume yet out there in the current market to do that. And I'm not seeing enough volume coming yet from Pokemon International to really justify me saying that there's going to be a massive crash like we saw at the end of 2021. I think that it's going to be more of a slow drop, a stagnation. I think that there's going to be some people that are going to get hit, especially people that are using line of credit that have, loans and that kind of stuff, or some people are using, I know quite a few people are actually using lines of credit. They get lines of credit through like capital places, and they basically use that line of credit to purchase at the beginning of the set, and then they sell out as much of that product as they can, and then they repay that loan, that line of credit, and then they use the line of credit again. Futuristically, some businesses have that opportunity and some people have that opportunity. They create small little LLCs that give them that buying play. On Deck, a really good source that I've heard people talking about using in order to do that. And they're using On Deck Financial to create a line of credit that, they get $25,000 to $50,000. Even some of them get $100,000 if you keep paying it off. And you've shown for months that you're able to use that line of credit responsibly, where you're taking a large sum of it and putting it back. They actually keep increasing that line of credit. Sometimes like a credit card, the more you pay it off and then use large capital of it and then pay it right away, they offer you more money because you're successful with it. So some of these guys have very large lines of credit, but when they can't sell quickly, they're going to get stuck with that line of credit. And there could be some situations as well with that, where, like we said, they're going to fire sale everything out that they can to try and pay off that line of credit and not have that debt over top of them and maybe break even. And this is where those situations could happen, to where we see that happen in the current market. So now, is the full market cooked? No. I think the full market's going to do well. I don't think that very many products are going to drop below MSRP. Maybe futuristic products like ME1 right now, waiting in reprint range. ME2, Phantasmal Flames, as it comes out, I think we could see possibly some products at MSRP on TCG Player, based on the print runs and possibly how much is getting into it, plus how many people might be coming out of the market at this point in time. There may be more availability to the product. Those are things that could occur when it comes down to the newer sets. Unless we start seeing massive reprints. I mean, let's be 100% honest. Journey Together right now, sleeve blisters are getting very close to MSRP. And as time goes on, they just continue to kind of slide down that direction. So I'm going to open them up right now just to look at them real quick. So we look at Journey Together. So if I pull up Journey, let me open up TCG Player. Make sure I spell it right. Together. So for example, sleeve blister packs right now. MSRP for those is typically right around $4.99 a blister pack. It's the typical pricing on those. That's MSRP. Some would say for $4.50 to $5 realistically is the MSRP. Right now they are actually listed on TCG Player for $4.99 plus a $1.50 for shipping. So there again though, if you were to buy several of them, if you were to buy all 6, your shipping is going to go down. That is very, 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 very close to MSRP right now for that pricing. So there's the other situation. Granted, that's only one listing, but then we're going up to $6.99. But still, $6.99 is not very far away from MSRP. And if we get close like this, I think that that's someone, not very many sales, probably getting to a point where they're trying to flash sale some stuff off, trying to make that $4.99 a pack and trying to get rid of that stuff. Once again, you're going to see more of that stuff happening. And as more people do that on TCG Player, that could also drive that price down for the overall pricing of these products as well. It could continue to kind of drive that price down on all of the listings because as more and more people are fire sailing, some of the older some of the established businesses are going to be forced to come down as well when this occurs because of the fact that they need to have some cash flow. So they're going to have to kind of follow suit a little ways. And they may or may not follow suit depending on how much capital they've banked away for a few months here on how this whole may lay out going into the current markets and going into the holiday season. You know, Phantasmal Flames, people are saving up for. You know, even myself, I'm not buying a lot of stuff right now because I'm saving up for Phantasmal Flames. I've got my bills coming for that. We're also going to be coming out all these UPCs. So we've got the UPCs coming out, the Moltres and the Charizard UPC. We've got holiday stuff coming as well, and that's really questioning up in the air right now coming into the 1st of November. What kind of holiday stuff are we going to be getting as it comes out? And these are all questions that we're going to be watching and really focusing on as we continue to move through the year here and how this is all going to really play out and where we're going to stand here come, December 1st. More and more sets are starting to have some drawback, some drop. Journey Together did get a little bit of a reprint here. We did get more sleeve blisters out in the market, so they did come out. Not huge quantities, but enough to where people were already away from Journey Together. Journey Together wasn't exactly the best set or the talked about set because ME1 is out there. Destin's Rivals, of course, is out there, plus Black and White, so there's 3 sets after it. And that's really a factor as well that we might be running into with a lot of these sets that people don't understand either, that are new in the market and haven't really been in here for a long period of time is that in Scarlet and Violet in particular, we talked about that even at the beginning. It's like every time that a new set, or Scarlet and Violet, the newest set was the hot set. The second that the next set came out, don't go back and buy anything from the old sets because it just never sold. Everybody's attention moves to the next set. So I'm concerned that ME1 might be the same thing. I've gotten people contacting even some outside sources that are trying to sell me ME1 sleeve blisters now. I'm not really buying them right now because I'm concerned that with this current market that we're not seeing the hype and the drive on those sets. And with that being said, I'm afraid that ME1 is going to completely lose traction and get forgotten when Phantasmal Flames hits the ground. When Phantasmal hits the ground here in 2 weeks, I think ME1 is going to struggle. I don't think it's going to do as well. You're not going to see the big moves. You're going to see stagnation in that set while Phantasmal Flames becomes the hot topic to be talking about in Pokemon TCG and in the Pokemon investing, in the Pokemon opening, in the collecting, in the Charizard SIR, the Gold Charizard. All these cards are going to take precedence, and they're all going to take the seat as being the next best thing. And we talk about that quite a bit as well. That when you're talking about investment and what's happening, what's going on in Pokemon TCG, there's always the next best thing, right? We talk about that several times is when you're looking at investment and when you're looking at the actual sets and when you're looking at what goes on in Pokemon TCG, there's always the next best set. And it's just a matter of time before this set comes up. Journey Together, popular when it came out. Everybody wanted it. Best set ever. Second Destined Rivals came out. Journey Together got forgotten. Got a reprint. Now the reprint isn't going anywhere because people just aren't going back to Journey Together very heavy because of the fact that they're on to ME1. And Destin's Rivals is still really popular because of the set that it has. It has some really good cards, really strong set in general. I think Destin's Rivals could take a reprint, and I think it would do well, just because there are a lot of people looking for cards in there, and it has a very good set range. Journey Together, as I said when it was released and the set lists were released before it released, I didn't think Journey Together was going to be a overall hot set for long term. Destin's Rivals definitely is going to hold a good place for that. I think it's one of the best sets out of the Scarlet and Violet era. I think overall investability on it, I think if you waited a little bit, you're going to get some opportunities to buy some Destin's Rivals potentially a little bit cheaper. I don't think we're out of reprints on those. Pokemon's increasing printing, and I think that that could affect Journey Together, could affect Destin's Rivals, as we talked about. Black and White isn't out of the woods for reprint. Surging Sparks just got some more reprints as well. So we're seeing product come out, and it's starting to roll out. And those are awful factors as well that are going to get people caught because they're going to go to Walmart, clean out a shelf of Surging Sparks, not realize that they got to pay, anywhere from 7 to 15% to sell that, and that's all your profit margins. You're basically breaking even or even taking a small loss on some of these products that you're buying at Walmart right now if you're not careful, because of the fact that you have those overheads and them extra costs that people aren't seeing or thinking about when it comes down to that. So, but yeah, like I said, I think the market's cooked for a lot of the people that have been rolling capital. I think that a lot of people that are rolling capital and trying to use, haven't built bank accounts, isn't doing this as a business, using bank account, building bank accounts, and then building for long-term holds. Getting from distribution, I think, is going to start hurting people. I know that I did a video about that about 2 months ago, and people were absolutely against it, saying it's stupid to become a business when you can just scalp, you can get this pricing, blah, blah, blah. This is a time and a period where having that distribution is going to potentially be a lifeline for a lot of the places out there right now. If you don't have distribution and you're trying to take stuff off the store shelves and do that quick flip, you're going to have a very, very small window to do it, I think, coming up here in the near future, where when the first set releases, it's going to be very, very, very hot. You're going to have a very good opportunity to do it. But then after the set releases, after about a week or two, and the market gets out there and all the product gets out, it's going to dry out pretty quickly to where you might be breaking even when it comes down to that. So, yeah, I think the market's pretty cooked for scalpers right now. I think the short-term flip is going to get very, very difficult. And I think that that's going to be a big situation that I think some people are really going to get caught. And I think that the overall downturns that could happen in this market because of it could reflect into a lot of the sets coming forward on that. Black Jesus said about to get some of this 151 at 11 p.m. for sure. Yeah, I am going to be trying for the mini tins as well. I think that's 10 p.m. here, so that's coming up at 10 p.m. on Sam's Club. So if you don't know, go to Sam's Club, and they're having the mini tins right now coming up available for the Sam's Club. So once again, if you're looking for some 151 mini tins, they're coming out again. To be honest with you, there's been a lot of the mini tins rolling around. They keep coming back again and again, which is actually surprising to me that mini tins are what they're pushing a lot. But, it is what it is. They pick products and they continue to push them, and that's where we're at right now when it comes down to these sets. So, yeah, it's just going to be really interesting to see how this market works out here in the near future. How is this market going to reflect as stagnation occurs, as there's not the quick flips, as the sales take longer, and as people are with credit cards are getting stuck with money stuck on credit cards longer than what they want? Those are all going to be questions that we really need to be considering as we're moving forward on those. So yeah, once again, I just want to kind of do a quick little talk here. I'm not going to do as long of a video here at the beginning that I normally do. So I just wanted to kick off and say, if you are using credit cards, if you are using line of credits and you're watching this channel right now, I would highly suggest getting out of them as soon as possible. Pay them off and start consolidating to make sure that you pay all that off before this market turns. If it continues to keep turning the way it is, it's definitely going to keep being an issue when it comes down to that and where we are currently in this market. So let me see if I can open this up real quick. I was going to show one thing real quick, and I was going to log in. Yeah. Okay, so I'm logged in. Just want to make sure that I'm logged into it. Collection. Because I just want to look at, show you the portfolio here right now. Yeah, what Oh. Yeah, that's I'm confused. Yeah. I'm just pulling. I was gonna just pull open here real quick because what I've been seeing here is something that working out. When you're watching the markets and what's happening in the markets, we're seeing it too. Even the older Sword and Shield sets right now are getting a lot of drawback as well. Just so you guys know, it's not just Scarlet and Violet that's slowing down. Sword and Shield products are also going down or stagnating also. Booster boxes right now. So my portfolio currently on Pokédata is a perfect example of it. I mean, because I've got all of my booster boxes tracked inside of there. So this is basically going to be the booster box lookout. And I'll pull it open here real quick because I was trying to get it on the computer, but it's not loading up correctly. But if you look, you can look at the last. So if you look at the Pokédata for the last 3 months, we have that up, really big up, but you can see on the other end there how it's continued to just kind of drop off. In the last month, this has been the last month of data when it comes down to Sword and Shield. I mean, there's some Scarlet and Violet in there, but a majority of this amount is Sword and Shield. So what you're seeing right there is exactly what's occurring right now in the market. So once again, these are the things that we have going on inside the market. And I got one card in there. I don't know why there's one card. I must have looked up the price and saved it. But a majority of it's all sealed products. So right now, these are your bigger losses. So I'm going to pull it open right now so you guys can see. Based on the booster boxes right now, that's what we're seeing for losses in the last. I don't know if it'll zoom in or not. But basically, a lot of the booster boxes right now, I mean, Evolving Skies is down $10 a box. It isn't that big in the last month. That's not a big deal. Fusion Strike is actually down about $32 a box right now, or a booster box in the last month. Lost Origin is now down $12 a box. Chilling Reign is down $30.50. Brilliant Stars is actually the one that's taken probably the biggest hit in the last month. That is actually down $59, almost $60 down on a Brilliant Stars booster box at this point in time. Silver Tempest is down $11 pretty much. Paldea Evolved is down $33 currently. The Charizard UPCs are down $15 a piece right now. I'm just going down. Paldea Fates Elite Trainer Box is down $15. Stellar Crown is actually up $25 currently. Temporal Forces is up $15, but Paradox Rift booster box is down $58 right now. So, and we go down to Surging Sparks booster boxes right now. We're down $70 in the last month. So we have seen some of the booster boxes, the 151 premium collections still going up, about $3 up. Astral Radiance is up $17 currently. Pokemon 151 Elite Trainer boxes are up $8 in the last month. City and Flames is up $5. Just going through. I mean, so realistically, Arceus, the premium Arceus premium collections are up $12 currently. So Crown Zenith is also down as well. Crown Zenith ETBs are down $3 a piece in the last month. So these are all, and that data for Pokédata, the reason I like Pokédata is that's an average between both eBay and TCG players. So basically it's tracking both of them to give you those average pricing on there. So you're seeing what's happening kind of on both accounts, which is kind of nice when you're looking at that feed point on there. So that's just one of the things that I wanted to bring up as well, is that when you're looking at the investment side, we are seeing it not just in the Scarlet and Violet era of things. It's happening all across Pokemon stuff. We're seeing it on graded cards. We're seeing it on a lot of things as well, that we're starting to see this retraction in the market / stagnation. Is it a crash? No, it's not really a crash. Losing after we went up 400% to lose 7 to 10% is really negligible at this point in time. What happens in the holiday season? Phantasmal Flames. We need a really good turnout for Phantasmal Flames. If we have a good turnout for Phantasmal Flames, I think that it'll just flatline the market. If it's a bad turnout, easy pull rates, Charizard set like we've seen also in a lot of the sets, I think, or in a lot of the early sets of an era, we might see some issues coming forward when it comes down to that. Yeah, whales are going to push those sessions for sure. I just saw one, if I'm stuck with a set of products that have trouble selling in the long run, I'm just going to rip for fun. Well, that's just it. If you can. You got to remember, though, just because you can do that doesn't mean that everybody in this market can do that. A lot of people are strictly, this is them making money And if they rip for fun, then they can't pay their bills. So that's a big factor as well that needs to be taken into consideration. For me, yeah, I mean, I could honestly just rip all the stuff and just enjoy it. If it went to zero, I could just rip it myself and enjoy the product. It really wouldn't hurt me, because I do have the overhead available for it. But most of my stuff, like on my thing, the cost base is already taken out of it, and that's a whole story that we could go down into a rabbit hole. That's actually a video I was going to talk about, because Pokémon has been doing some really weird videos. And I actually sat there and talked to my wife because, okay, so just to break this down, my wife is more business oriented. She runs business. She runs the numbers on businesses. She does a lot of business. Both of us do business stuff quite a bit. I do investment stuff. So I do our family portfolio. I do like our Bitcoin. I do, our crypto. I do our Roth IRAs. I do all of the investment side of things. I do Pokemon investing too, but I also run the Pokemon business. So basically I do a lot of the investment. She does a lot of the business stuff. And, the funny thing is that I sit there and watch the videos that Pokemon is doing. And some of the people that are absolutely agreeing with him, I don't necessarily agree with everything that he's saying in it. I agree that you should be saying that you're buying a booster box for $340. Well, no, I'm actually buying it for $240 because I made $100 on this product. No, you still paid $340 for it. I do 100% that. Believe that. But like a lot of my stuff is all cost. The cost basis is gone. And that's like my wife said, I don't take any money from my family account. I've actually paid out pretty much everything that I've put in the Pokemon now has been paid out back to the personal account. So basically everything I have here is all internally running now. If I sell stuff to buy stuff, I sit there and sell investments to buy new investments. I buy, sell products on Rip and Ship or on our store to buy more products in inventory. I mean, they're both kind of self-sustaining rolling snowballs of money. But realistically, I have no money that I've put into it anymore. I put the initial money in. I put the initial investment in to build that, my cost basis. But now, basically, the returns are just making more returns. The money is just rolling itself. I'm not adding in. I'm not infusing money. I'm not throwing money in. I'm not doing any of those things. I am literally just selling product to buy more product. I try and sell, make 20% markup, so that basically it pays for the expenses of the business, and I buy the next set. And that is what we do, and that's how we do it. And Pokemon, his analogy is, and his whole videos that he is doing, I think they're just kind of silly. I know some of it's probably satire. I get that. I'm sure he's doing a satire part of it. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of us do sit there and say, I don't think that, prismatic evolutions, I think it's going to drop in value. So I'm going to sell my prismatic evolutions. I'm going to take that. And usually what I tell you guys is that I'll take two products. I'll sell 2 prismatic evolutions ETBs and I'll buy 1 Destin's Rivals booster box. So I'll take the investment. So if I paid $50 for the ETBs, they're now $100 into it. And let's just say hypothetically that I had no investment. I brought all new money in and I paid $100. I bought 2 Prismatic Evolutions ETBs. I took those 2 ETBs now because they're up $100 and sold them. I would buy a ETB or a booster box of Destin's Rivals for $300. And I would say, well, I have $100 of my money into it. And I have $200 of my returns paying for that booster box. So basically, I've paid $100 for the booster box. Theoretically, in real money, I've paid $100, but I did buy the booster box for $300. I didn't not pay $300 for it. It's just the returns have paid for themselves. And that's the thing, is that I think a lot of people need to look at when they're saying things and how they're interpreted. Is my wife is a business person, and when I told her or showed her the videos from Pokemon and Pokemon, she absolutely agreed with him. The way that he said it, she absolutely agreed with him. And I think that that's the business mindset. So what that was is what it is that's the business mindset. And I could see it that way too. The business mindset is money in is money out. Money in is money out. There is no, investment in their mind. In her mind, there's no investing, right? If you buy a product and I buy this sleeve blister for $4 and I sell it to you for $5, it's $5. And if I buy another product for $5, I spend $5 on it. She doesn't look at it as there's an investment side of it where you have the cash basis, and then you have the return. So those, in the business mindset, those don't exist. But in the investing mindset, they do exist. And you're using that as your buying power to purchase more things or bigger things or better things. Is you're using that buying power to do that. So it was kind of cool because I asked my wife, I showed her the videos. She 100% agreed with him. Like, she's just like, I 100%, he's right. That's exactly what you're doing. And I had to explain to her why it's not like that. And then after I explained it to her a little bit, she went, oh yeah, that kind of makes, I see where you're coming at that way as well. I guess, if you're looking at it that way, if you're looking at it from the point that you've got a cash basis. So basically I always try and take my cash basis back out. I only want to leave the returns. I don't want to use cash basis and return forever. I want to take the cash basis out, leave the returns, let the returns do the work, take the cash base and go somewhere else. So I'm going to go. So a lot of my cash has been going into either Lorcana or it's been shifting over to crypto. I've been putting a lot into different cryptos with the market drop the other day. I really moved quite a bit of money into crypto here, trying to get ahead of it. I think we're going to do well here in the next few months, but once again, we're shifting, and that cash basis is always moving around and going different places, while the investment or the returns from the investment are now rolling into they're a snowball. They're just going to continue to grow. I'll sell things to buy things. I'll take things that are lower performers and I'll put them into what I think will be higher performers, and we just keep rolling that money in that cash. So that's something to consider when you're looking at it, and I can see both perspectives. That's why I wanted to throw it to my wife because she doesn't do investment. Pokemon NE to her made perfect sense, and to me, it's like you're not understanding what's going on. To me, when I watch those videos, you don't understand what's going on in investment, so I don't know why you're making fun of the investment money. Or like him, the one short. I don't know if you guys watched him. I was working on a video for it where he was even talking about, dollar cost averaging it out. And it's like you can't lump sum buy something and dollar cost average out. You got to spread it. You're gonna have to spread your $100,000 over like 2 years and then buy every single month for 2 years. Take 10 grand, buy every single month. Then you're going to cost dollar average out or dollar cost average. For the people out there that want to say dollar cost average, just cost dollar average or dollar cost average, whatever makes you feel better at night. So yeah, I mean, realistically, there's different perspectives to it, but my wife definitely was right in his camp. But once again, that's the business aspect, the business mindset, versus the investment mindset when you're looking at that. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the chat. Team Rocket Joey, thank you so much for being in here. Blitzkrieg, thank you so much for being as well. We got Supermax117, welcome on in. Spartan, thank you so much for joining. We have DJ's Poke Center, welcome on in this evening. Grim the Nerd, thank you so much for joining in as well. Sleeping Snorlax is in the house. Welcome on in. We got Eric. We got Burr joining us as well. Aaron Scott, thank you so much for being here also. We got Black Jesus 410. Thank you so much for being in here. The Flat Line Man at Lines is in here as well. I don't know if it's supposed to be something else, but that's all I can see right now. I'm not getting the names of people right now. Horizon, thank you so much for joining in as well. So yeah, I don't really see all of these things, all your names. If you have like usernames right now, they're only coming in as your ats. So I do apologize if it's not right, but this is what your ats are. So that's what we're going with right now for the names. Hopefully they'll be correct. Some are correcting now. So I'm seeing some of them are actually getting right or correcting them out. So I'm guessing that the YouTube, this update is finally working its way through. We're going to go ahead and jump through some of the questions. I mean, a lot of them are just talking. A lot of accounts closing. Yeah, we talked about a lot of accounts have been closing. Fire sales are very common. The market is cooked. It is. It's getting very cooked, especially for some of the people that are using credit. I'm here for it. I got cash on the sidelines ready to buy up the sales. Exactly. That's what a lot of us are doing at this point in time is we're just starting to bank money. Sell down some of our stuff. I've been selling down Sword and Shield, as I've said, banking money, making sure that we're all set up or buying some crypto. Crypto's been down right now. We've had a little bit of a downtrend the last few weeks, so I've been kind of buying into it. Every couple days I'm buying crypto stocks, kind of buying into the downturn, and as it goes back up, then I'll be able to capture some of that. Once again, buying into the recession, guys, it's a better way to go than trying to buy into the boom. So we gotta withdraw. I'm gonna keep buying into it. For those who knew beforehand during Vivid and Shining Fates, we knew what would happen. Everyone called us crazy. There was some really good conversations on how dumb you were to be safe back in the Sword and Shield boom as well in 2021, 2020, 2021. The investment channels were telling you you're making a big mistake putting all this money in potentially getting yourself caught in these things. Everybody said you're dumb, you're wasting, you're not going to make money. It sounded a lot like Nostalgianomics. And then, of course, the market does shift. And a lot of people, how many people did we lose out of this hobby? I always wondered what that statistic would be of how many people in this hobby actually went bankrupt or had to repay loans that they couldn't afford or are still paying loans that they took out at that point in time to try and capitalize on that market, that it didn't work and it fell apart before they could capitalize on it. Kind of curious. It would be a really cool statistic if you could ever figure it out. I don't know how you would. I have no idea how you would even get that statistic, but I think it'd be really cool to find out, what happened. How many people went bankrupt? How many people are still paying loans from that? How many people went upside down and have never really financially recovered from that because they went and bought so much in, December, January, February, March, April, May. We went into June, July, and then all of a sudden in August, and then all of a sudden September and October, we got completely wasted. And what that did to a lot of people at that point in time. And the markets, some of the stuff has never really recovered from that point either. And people don't realize that. Some of them sets and some of the graded cards, some of the singles have never recovered from their peak back in 2021. And that's something, even Team Rocket Joey, again, I'm going to put him up here because he was live and we discussed that. That Shining Charizard, PSA 10 Shining Charizard, has never recovered from its high in Sword and Shield. And I've got some too. They were high and super high. Granted, I didn't buy them at the highs, but they were high and they've just never gone back to that peak because people have moved on. They went on to the newest Charizard. So Obsidian Flames Charizard took over, or Paldean Evolved, or Paldean Fates Charizard takes over. And the next Charizard always takes over. Nobody's looking back at that Champion's Path Shining Charizard anymore. It's just forgotten, right? Nobody's, the trend has moved. The next best thing is out there. And once that happens, you're done. Blitzkrieg, got too many new people collecting now, so it would be a crazy drop in price, but enough to be in the green for most of us. Yeah, I think you're going to see the people are going to get caught are going to be scalpers, and the people are short-term buying because it's going to take longer to sell things. It's going to not be the huge markups. Those things are all going to become factors here in the near future, and it's going to continue to go that direction. So it's something to really be concerned or watching for if you are in those situations. Basically, this is going to be an advisory video for anybody out there right now that's short-term borrowing in order to buy Pokemon cards. I think that it's a mistake at this point. I think the opportunities are disappearing quickly. You're going to have very short windows to capitalize on the market before the market goes and pretty much bites you. And you're going to have to just take your time and take advantage right now to try and get rid of as much as you can and pay off those debts. Get out of debt now before this thing completely unravels. Because could this market drop another 10%? Yeah, I think it's got 10% to go down. Could it go down 20%? I could see it. I could see this market dropping 20% right now. Could I see 30? I don't think 30 is even completely out of the question. I don't know if you'll see it go much below 20. Personally, I think that your stopping point is going to be about 15 to 20%. Right now, we're about 7. So, I mean, you're already halfway there for a lot of the sets at this point in time, especially the older sets. So, the question is how far is it going to continue to drop? And at what point do these people get stuck with product that they just can't sell and make profit any longer because they bought it at $450 and now it's at $300 or goes down to $300? They bought, Destin's Rivals. Let's put it out there. They bought Destin's Rivals at $350, $300, and the market continues to drop and saturate and stagnates, and all of a sudden it drops 15%. What do you do? How do you get out of that? What's your options at that point in time? Either A, have to buy more Destin's Rivals and hope the market recovers so it gets up just enough to get out of it. Plus, you're going to have a 15% buyer's or seller's fee, or 10, let's just say 10. If you want to go on average, you're going to have 10% buyer's fee. So if you got $350, you're going to add another $35 that you got to make on that. So you actually got to sell it for $390, $385, $390 in order to see a profit on that product. So that's all factors that need to be in consideration when it comes down to that. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how overall this market does go futuristically and how quickly it shifts. Now we're starting to see flash sale stuff on TCG Player. I mean, Journey Together, perfect example. We're starting to see flash sale. I just saw it. I was just going to put it out there, and I just saw it from Super Maz. Twilight Masquerade. People are flash selling Twilight Masquerade right now. I'm seeing ETBs right now on like open market stuff, Facebook, all this stuff at cost $60. They bought it and they're literally just trying to flash sale it and get rid of it because of how much of it came out after they purchased the initial amount and how quickly they got stuck with it. So that's a factor that also be in consideration that they went back and reprinted Twilight Masquerade just recently. What does that say for Journey Together, Destiny's Rivals, Black and White, and also ME1? If they just went back and printed Twilight Masquerade, all those are back on the table. Stellar Crown, or Surging Sparks just got a reprint as well. We just got ETBs of Surging Sparks, Twilight Masquerade. Stellar Crown's on the table still, guys. It's right there. Journey Together, Black and White, all of them are definitely in that range where we could see a reprint at any point in time. Is that a good thing, though? Still a lot of scalping. There's going to be scalping, and I still think that there's going to be availability for a while yet to be able to go to Walmart, buy off the shelf, and resell. It's just not going to go away. What's really going to get caught are people using line of credits because you're going to have to take time and you're not going to be able to try and turn your interest rate on a credit card. Selling on TCG Player. You know, you're going to have to flip into your local market if you're going to do it. Like Jesus says, true. I've been coming across a lot of people fire selling Pokey at ridiculously low prices so that they can pay their debts off. I'm buying them too, LOL. This is the perfect time to be buying these things right now. And I've been getting offers for things. I still think some of the offers are still too high. So I'm waiting them out because I still think that, like you said, they got to pay debts. They got debt. They got to pay it. And they're going to start fire sailing. I give them a price, or they're coming at a price, and I know they're scalpers. I know where they're getting it from. I know the individuals, some of them that are selling it and contacting me. I'm going to let them sit on it a little bit further because you cleaned out the Walmart from everybody else. I'm going to let you sit on it a little bit and see where it goes because I'm not in any rush to buy at this point in time. DJ Poke Center says MVP offered me prismatic cases and Journey Together booster box cases. I only got a little prismatic. Well, that's kind of a nice offer. Journey Together, yeah, the booster boxes are out. And so we're getting booster boxes, enhanced booster boxes, I think, came back out. And then we got sleeve blisters, just got reprinted. I'm assuming, going by history, we'll probably be seeing some Journey Together or ETBs as well, potentially here in the near future. Just FYI. If we got booster boxes and sleeve blisters, they did that with Surging Sparks. We got sleeve blisters and we got booster boxes, and then about a month later, we got ETBs. So I'm thinking the next month, we're probably going to see Journey Together ETBs kind of roll out again as well. Just so you guys are watching. If you're looking for those things, if you're watching your Walmarts and stuff like that, there might be an opportunity. Plus, there might be a price drop in those as well here in the near future. Aaron Scott says, hey, how's it going, Aaron? Hopefully you're having a fantastic week so far. Burr says, best time to master the set then. Exactly. Right now is going to be a good time to master a set. Phantasmal Flames hits. I know you're trying to master ME1. If you're trying to master ME1, I'd just be taking my time a little bit, Burr, because I think that you're going to do really well here shortly because there's going to be more and more of those cards coming down in value as Phantasmal Flames hits the shelf. Blitzkrieg, yeah, just got to keep strong away from the super inflated prices. Exactly. Don't jump in. Just take your time. There's no rush. Mega Evolution blisters sold today. Okay. On Pokemon Center must have been. Let's see how the scalpers are being scalped. About to get some of the 151. Yep. Got to make sure we're ready for that too. So just so you know, 10 o'clock. 151 is going to be up on Sam's Club, so make sure you get your links open, which reminds me, take a moment if you have not found your links at this point in time to get it ready, get your Sam's Club app ready, make sure your pricing and everything's all ready, or your cards are all set, because I can tell you right now, it's going to be an absolute S show when this is all said and done. So make sure if you got the links, so I get the early links, I think there's 2 packs right now, so you get one of 2 options. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Everybody take like 1 minute here. Make sure all of your stuff is in line so that we don't have any, so you can get, because if you screw up and try and change anything in the process, you're dead. You're done. You might as well just call it a day and go home. Because you're never going to get it to work and it's never going to happen. So, all right, there we go. So we're all set. I know I'm all ready to go. So at 10 o'clock, we'll jump onto that. We might just call quits like a normal, like 5 minutes beforehand. So everybody's ready to go. I want to give you guys the best opportunity. I don't want to hold you up from getting the best deals that you can on these products. I already said it this. Horizon. 3AI Atlas comment turned out not to be an alien invasion. Therefore, is this a bullish or bearish indicator for the Pokemon market? I think bearish since we lost potential alien Pokemon collectors. Yep. I think it's going to be harder to sell without them. Freaking not aliens, I know, right? All this thing, oh, it's changing directions. Oh, it's this. It's got to be aliens. It's okay. Anyways, yes, we do not have aliens coming. Sad news for any alien fans out there, but it's not. We're not going to have AVP anytime soon, so we got time. Blitzkrieg distro going to push a lot of products on the smaller and newer accounts. Good. I want some more product. I'd love to get more product from distro. I can handle it. I love to get a lot more product than what I get now, so I can just lower my pricing down to MSRP. I would love it. I'd love to just sell it at MSRP, right? That would be the ultimate dream right now for a business, is to be able to cover all of my business expenses with MSRP pricing. It'd be awesome. Aaron says, careful, mini tins damage a lot of cards. Not as bad as Pokeballs though. No, they don't. But my suggestion is with any tin product, I usually pull the packs out of them. So if I'm not planning on using the mini tins as a price for those things, or if I'm not looking at the mini tins as the holding item, I will pull them down and just keep the packs individual. So that's just me. I don't usually keep things in tins just because tins take up a lot of space as well. Blitzkrieg, that meant we can pick up plenty of singles. Yep, that's coming here in the near future. I don't use a C. Blitzkrieg says, work the corner if you have to. Don't let the game play you, peeps. True story. Yeah, I've seen the boosters drop 7%. Yeah, I think it's about 7 to 10% right now for a lot of them. How come booster boxes sell the best? In my opinion, I figured sleeve boosters would sell the best since the buyers don't have to commit to large quantity. You got to remember though that you're looking at openers versus collectors versus investors. So collectors and investors tend to want booster boxes because in history, booster boxes have performed the best. There was a short window where ETBs actually did the best, but that's been long gone since they've been reprinting a lot of ETBs without booster boxes. So that's been a factor for the last few years on booster boxes versus ETBs. But you look at the booster box values when you're looking at an investment side of things. Booster boxes take up the least amount of space for the most amount of packs. On top of that, they've also performed the best futuristically because booster boxes get broken down a lot. So booster boxes tend to disappear out of the market the most compared to a lot of other products. There also, a lot of people like to display them. A lot of people like to show, off that. I like ETBs for displayability as a collector. But I also like my booster box collection. I just like them for investment too because they're a lot of packs in a short space. So, and they give you options. You can always rip packs. So if they got good pull rates of the booster boxes, you're going to get decent hit rates like Obsidian Flames. You could sit there and take advantage of those hit rates and possibly in the future and possibly rip those booster boxes if they're a little slower on booster box sales. You can sell individual packs when packs get expensive. Or when they get too expensive, you can break them down and sell them. Or number 3, you can sell booster boxes at a premium. If you got cases are actually even better for price because then you get a case premium a lot of times as time goes on as well. That's what we've seen. Prismatic Evolutions right now, guys. I don't know if anybody's seen this. Prismatic Evolutions right now is almost $3,000 for a case, a 4-pack case from Pokemon Center. Why? There aren't very many of them out there. Plain and simple. I saw it on Reddit. And I kind of laughed, or a couple places put it out there. They didn't understand how they were $3,000 when you could literally buy 10 of the ETBs for that price for $300. I guess they were saying 10. I thought they were a little bit higher than that, but it doesn't make a difference. You can buy a lot more of the Pokemon Center single ETBs than a case, but it's because of rarity of that particular case because they changed it like after the first 5 minutes, or if you weren't in there for the first 10 minutes, they dropped it to 2. So they went from 4 to 2. So a lot of individuals did not get the opportunity at the case And that's why it's a lot rarer than the individual ETBs. Crazy. Aaron Scott, stuff's going down. Honestly, is good for the market. Same with the silver AT. Yep. It's gonna go back up after the TCG player sale. Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of it pulling down the market just because of that as well. Let's see. Blitzkrieg, the whales are gonna push those sales. They're gonna try. Lorcana is dropping also a little bit. It's dropping pretty consistently. All TCGs are kind of retracting a little bit right now. Not a lot, not as much as Pokemon, but they are all coming down a little bit. It's a semi-correction. Yes, I could see that. I mean, stagnation, semi-correction, a little bit of a drop here when it comes down to the market. Ryzen, can Pikachu sway Donald Trump to reopen the government, or is he more of an EV guy? I think he's more of a, what the heck is it? The Trump card. Gumshoe? Is that a gum? Which one is it? The Trump card. He's a Gumshoe fan. Yes, Gumshoe. He is a Gumshoe fan because we got the Trump card right now out there. So he's going to be a Gumshoe fan in my opinion. So we would have to get him a couple good PSA 10 Gumshoes, and I think we might be able to persuade him. But there again, it's really not up to Donald Trump to open the government at this point in time. I'm sorry, I'm not into politics, but overall, it isn't up to the Republican Party to open a government at this point in time. Pass the clean CR. If you want to have a discussion on things, hey, do the due diligence after you open up the government again. I do think that they should make a law where none of these congressmen or senators or their employees get paid during the shutdown. I think that's bullcrap. I think the president should not get paid either. I think if the government's shut down, nobody gets paid. If the military, if the workers, if essential workers aren't getting paid, they're not getting paid. I think that would be a huge incentive because some of them guys or people, well, a lot of them could, but a lot of the newer ones couldn't handle it. But I think it's absolute. Like I said, I'm not party driven. I don't know if anybody realized that or noticed it. I really don't drive either party. I tend to be more conservative. I tend to just go the conservative way. But I don't necessarily agree with all the things that are being done in government. I don't agree with either party on most of the times. They're both trying to screw you. One's just trying to take it from the mouth. The other one's trying to take it out of your ass. I mean, it doesn't make a difference which way they're doing it. They're still trying to screw you regardless. And that's probably going to get me kicked out of YouTube for that. So probably goodbye. This is probably going to be my last live for that statement. But in general, I just stay out of politics because it's stupid. They're all stupid, and anybody who thinks that one party's better than the other are just completely ridiculously just brainwashed into thinking that. There is no good party. They're both junk, and you literally just have to pick between the lines on all of it. So, moving on. Let's see here. Where were we? We were at the... Yeah, Eric, I've seen those numbers on some things. Definitely an Eevee fan. Joey, you still in here? Let us know about PokeNE. Will there be any executive order to regulate scalping in the Pokemon market? Negative, Ghost Rider. That's being hopeful. Buying the dip. Yes, always buy. That's something else I've been looking for as well as crypto. Crypto's been down, so I've been buying into the dip on crypto. Uh-oh, someone used all caps. Don't use all caps. See, you get spammed. You get spam blocked faster than me. Seems like Pokemon is just trying to get the prices per pack down through MCAP product and not printing a lot of booster boxes to make it more of a collector's box. No, they're trying to get it out in other products and other similarities at this point in time. Other smaller items in different areas. Just funny though, they never really made many set premium boxes, but this year it's been like 20 different boxes. It's been continuous this year. Forget Diamond Hands. The new trend is Diamond Pokeballs. There we go. I see scalping getting desperate, selling Twilight Masquerade. Yeah, I mean, Twilight Masquerade ETBs have been dirt cheap. I've seen them under MSRP at this point in time. So yes, they are going extremely cheap. Yeah, the reprint on Twilight Masquerade hit people hard. Average sales is in the 60s. And you got to remember, you're paying $55 to $60 for that ETB at Walmart. MJ Holding lifted the price. up to from 55 to 60 on most ETBs. So Twilight Masquerade, they're buying them at 60, they're selling at 60, they're losing money. It's another loss for these guys that need to turn that product too, but they bought them all out, so now they got to sell them. I wouldn't be mad for another stellar reprint. Pokey Printer going burr. Sam's Club Night Fight. Good luck all. I see green lights in the sky. Uh-oh, that's not good. Oh, welcome in, Jacob. Thank you so much for joining us. Love ETBs, but they take up so much space. I agree. I like them for display. I don't like storing the product in them. Pokemon Center ETBs, only ones worth holding. I love how NN casually talking about MSRP again after gaslighting everybody about it not existing. I know, right? I saw the latest video on how he was so set on buy anywhere because the prices continue to go up in price, and all of a sudden he's talking about these products going to MSRP. You've been here with me. I'm not a proponent to say that nothing will ever go back to MSRP. Nothing is exempt from ever going back. It just, do I think that early Scarlet and Violet stuff is going to go back to MSRP? No. Do I think Destin's Rivals is ever going to go back to MSRP? I'm going to put a hard no on it. I think it'll get close. I think it'll come down with some reprints. But I don't think that there'll ever be enough product of that particular set to bring it down to MSRP. Phantasmal with Flames. Do I see that set always staying slightly above MSRP? It's really going to depend on the print rate of that. It's heavier than it's been recently on that set. So if that's the case, we could potentially see that as well. It being, going down close to MSRP, but it's not necessarily going to stay there very long if it does. Bro, this weekend could get wacky and scary fast. Yeah, I got pulled off. I just wanted to be left alone. Did you see Opossum Buz's new video of the scalper buying thousands of those tins from Walmart? LOL. I did, and do you see the price of those tins now? Last time I checked, I think that they were like at MSRP, so which is not surprising. So let me see here. If I go, what are these things? Mini tin. Yeah, these ones are just the Mega Evolutions. Mega Evolutions Mini. Just put it in here. Nuts. Okay, Mega Evolutions. Sealed product. So let's see here. So, yeah, the mini tins for 10 right now. So a box of 10. I guess they're still about $17 for those. What's the mini tins? So the mini tins are still $20 with this value up there. I thought that they were down further than that, but they still want $20 on TCG Player for them tins. It's absolutely insane. Right now, I'm selling them for, what did I put them down to? $14.99. So I think like $15 on NorthwoodsTCG.com right now. But get them at your stores, guys. I mean, I paid almost MSRP for them, so get them at your stores. You can get them, go buy them. But yeah, absolutely crazy. People are buying, but the problem is that the people like that continue to buy and hold that stuff. If they can handle holding it, they could really make some money on that futuristically. It's just going to be a matter of time. Thanks for always answering my questions. Oh, no problem. I try and answer everybody's questions in a live. I mean, at some point in time, some nights are super busy, then yeah, we're definitely going to have to. But we're going to have to call it quits. I did just see, sorry about that, guys. It is time for the Sam's Club buy. So, guys, jump onto your Sam's Club links. Get ready to go. Good luck on those mini tins. Hopefully, you guys get into it. Join Northwoods TCG on Discord. Let me know if you had success on that. I do apologize for that, guys. So, get after it right now. All right, guys. See you later. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night. We will see you. We'll be back Friday at 9 p.m. Central Time, but good luck on the mini tins. Get after it, guys, and good luck.